So let's talk about those shifts, the kind where you haven't even sat down yet and the patient call bell is going off, already behind on your medication, and it's only 1 hour into your shift. If you've ever driven home in silence or sat in your car after a shift questioning if nursing is really for you, then this video is for you, because surviving a bad shift as a nurse isn't about being perfect. It's about making sure you get through the shift safely. That's the important thing. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to Think Nursing. My name is Stacy, and I talk a lot about nursing here, travel, and lifestyle. So go ahead and follow me on TikTok as well as on YouTube. Today, I want to break down how nurses actually survive bad shifts mentally, physically, and emotionally, especially when everything feels like it's falling apart, because a lot of days it is like that. And one thing that I always do is just accept that some shifts are not about, excellence. It's all about survival. One of the biggest mindset shifts that saved me in nursing was realizing this: not every shift is a great nurse shift. So some shifts are going to be there where it's all about keeping patients alive, passing the critical medications, documenting enough to protect yourself, and go home safely. And that's it. When staffing is short, patients are heavy, admissions are coming in, and there's nothing you can do, you understand, except that you are in a survival mode. It doesn't make you a bad nurse. It makes you realistic. The next thing is you want to go ahead and focus on what actually needs to get done now. So ask yourself things like, what is life-threatening right now? What can wait? What can delegate? You cannot do everything at once. So prioritization on a bad day, on a bad shift, means letting go of the idea that you can catch up, because you will not. You will not catch up, and that's okay. So focus on things like safety, time-sensitive medications, changes in the patient condition. Everything else gets done now, when it gets done, and then that's it. All right? Another thing you want to do is make sure you're taking those micro breaks. Even when you're busy, you still need your breaks. I'm not talking about, your full 30 minutes break, or some persons who get 2 hours break in like New York. Yeah, we're not talking about those long break, because sometimes it doesn't really happen for a lot of nurses across the country here. I mean, using bathroom, taking some deep breaths, small sips of water. Just remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup, but you also cannot wait until you're empty to refill it. So make sure you're keeping hydrated. You're taking a little bit of a time for self-care. Another thing is, don't ask for help when you're drowning. Identify that you need help now. So I know a lot of us as international nurses and new nurses, we fail to not be asking questions, and we feel as though asking is like a sign of weakness. No, it's not. When you realize that you need help, talk to your charge nurse, talk to somebody to help with supporting, and delegate duties as best as you possibly can. Struggling is something that you don't want to be doing. One of the worst shifts that you can ever get into is because you waited too long. You didn't ask for help, and that is the problem sometimes with a lot of us as nurses. The other thing is that you want to go ahead and protect your mental health. Bad shifts can mess with your head. Your inner voice will keep on telling you throughout the shift that you're behind, you are failing, everything else is going wrong, or everybody else is doing better than me. And so I want you to pause on that and remind yourself that you're one person, you're doing the best that you can despite the limited resources, and the shift will end. Talk to yourself the way you talk to new grad nurses, not being judgmental, but with grace. So tell yourself that you are human as well, and things are going bad, but make sure you're prioritizing. The next thing I want to say is, do not take home work with you. This is easier said than done, but it's necessary. Once you clock out, stop replaying everything that happened at work, every mistake. Stop questioning every decision. Stop punishing yourself for things that happen already. Bad shifts are not a reflection of your worth or your intelligence. So what I want you to do is create a routine after work and just work with that. You get home, you change your clothes immediately, you take a shower, you go pray, do some journaling, sit down in silence, do something that signals that work is over. Your nervous system, your brain needs closure. So do something that is outside that will take your mind away from work. Reflection is healthy. Ask yourself, what could I have done for this shift, or what was out of my control? And then from there, just let it go. Let it go. Some shifts don't need deep lessons. They just need to rest, and that's it. So if you're one of those nurses that is out there and you're having a bad shift, or you're healing from one of those bad shifts, hear this. You survived, and that's the most important thing. The patient survived, and that counts. You don't have to love every shift to be a good nurse, and you don't have to quit nursing just because you've had a bad day or a hard day at work. because things weren't going your way. So I just want us to remember that, you know, you are human as well. All right, you are human as well. So if this video spoke to you, I would love for you to go ahead and like, share, comment, follow me on YouTube at ThinkNursing, and go ahead and tell me in the comments what helps you survive a bad shift. What helps you survive a bad shift on one of those days? And just remember that you're not alone. All right, so follow me here on TikTok at ThinkNursing and subscribe to my YouTube page at ThinkNursing for the longer form content. And make sure you turn the notification bell on so you can be alerted of my videos once they're released. Until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye.